Welcome to a brief overview of the issues covered during the June 2017 meeting of the Southeast Audit Committee Network. My name is Chatham House, and I serve as the lead for the network on behalf of Tapestry Networks. Over the next 5 minutes, I'll be sharing some of the points discussed in the sessions in an effort to supplement the summary that's already been published. By way of background, the Southeast Audit Committee Network is a group of audit committee chairs drawn from leading companies. It's organized by Tapestry Networks with the support of EY. The sessions that we had covered insider cyber risk with a subject matter expert, as well as oversight of information security with a panel of Chief Information Security Officers, CISOs. We also covered board composition and evaluation with a recruitment expert. In accordance with our adherence to Chatham House Rule, the comments that you're going to hear in this video will be unattributed. As the goal here is to provide supplemental comments rather than a session-by-session debrief, we're going to focus on 3 issues that cut across the conversations. First, what questions directors should be asking today about the IT organization. Second, how cyber risk frameworks are helping boards assess company readiness. And third, how boards are ensuring the right mix of skill sets for effective oversight in a changing environment. So starting with our first issue, the IT organization today and what directors, so often the audit committee members, should be asking. Several audit chairs in the room noted that it's worth asking the specific question about how the IT team identifies and handles insider cyber risk. Since statistically, penetration through actions of insiders tends to last longer and have more consequences than those outside the perimeters that have been so carefully secured. As the conversation in the room moved beyond technology solutions to ownership of this problem and remediation efforts, the bigger question came up of how IT functions are changing as a result of not just information security, but digitalization and disruption. Audit chairs in the room shared their collective takeaway that boards need to understand how issues that typically fall under IT are being handled, as well as the leadership that's involved. There was particular emphasis on the board needing to hear from some of these leaders, including the CISOs, directly instead of through an intermediary like the CIO. Now, you'll note my use of the word board rather than audit committee. And that brings up another point in the discussions, that more audit committees these days are raising the issue of cyber risk back up to the board level. As boards become more engaged in cyber risk and other information management issues, some are making more use of particular risk frameworks. For example, the National Institute of Standards and Technology, their framework, commonly known as NIST, has become familiar to many audit committees. At the Southeast Network meeting, members were also introduced to the AICPA's recently released Cybersecurity Risk Management Reporting Framework, which is intended to provide a more business-centric approach that includes potential for attestation and communication to stakeholders. It's also noteworthy that concern about cyber risk in terms of personal information led to the European Union's data regulation on individual privacy, known as GDPR. Several of those attending the meeting expressed their surprise at how far-reaching the regulation, which is due to go into effect May of 2018, may prove to be for U.S. companies. While those with operations in the EU are aware of the data management implications, the fact that the regulation covers EU citizens' personally identifiable information regardless of where they reside raised serious and urgent questions for the directors. With cyber risk, digitalization, and innovation on the minds of many directors, it's not surprising that boards are adapting their approaches to recruitment and onboarding to ensure the right mix of skill sets needed, which is the final point to share from the discussions. Interestingly, members noted that identifying which types of technology skill sets can be helpful in a director is a challenge in and of itself. The ongoing debate, of course, is whether there should be a tech or cyber director, much like the designated financial experts. All of the IT-related guests expressed their desire to see boards better equip and educate themselves for these important conversations about IT and cyber, and also made clear that sometimes the communication struggle goes both ways as they and their team try to find ways to communicate with and engage the board. In cases where a director whose background and experience were different in kind came on a board, there were also lessons learned in helping them adjust to the culture and communication among board members, as well as with members of the management team. Hopefully what you've heard has been helpful in giving you a better sense of the conversations in the room. Judging by the liveliness of the give and take during the discussions and some of the debates, these issues are going to be top of mind as they continue to evolve. We look forward to further conversations with you. Thank you on behalf of our team.